Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeff Pankatine. I'm the CEO of Daptiv. Many of you may know our company as eProject, which has been in Seattle for quite a while. And we renamed our company a while back. And I'll give you some explanations as to that as we go through the presentation. The company has been an employer in town for quite a while and has won a lot of awards for Best Place to Work, and Cody's and so forth. So we have a good history behind us and a good revenue stream as well. What do we do? Well, we're the leader in on-demand or SaaS-based collaborative business applications for project and enterprise work management. Well, what does that mean? Well, there's a market out there that's called Project and Portfolio Management, or PPM. Many of you have used Microsoft Project before. This is the software behind it that allows many people to actually collaborate on large projects and implementations, whether that's inside of an IT organization, working on applications, or building a bridge, or whatever the case may be. And we are the leading vendor of providing that online as a SaaS-based solution. Now, the difference between us and many of the competition is this concept of project and portfolio management is a very rigid box to be in. It's a science. And what we've done and why we've been successful is we've loosened up the box a bit and brought in all different types of work into the definition of that project. So the reality is that 60% of what people do during the day is related to some type of project. They may not call it that, but it is a project, whether it's launching a new product or doing an M&A validation, whatever the case may be. And we can capture all of that online and through and work with distributed teams around the world. We have about 100 employees in Seattle here. We were founded in '97. We are in the leadership quadrant for Gartner. If you're familiar with Gartner, the leadership quadrant or magic quadrants that they put out, we are in the leadership space for PPM. We're the only SaaS vendor in that space, and we're the largest SaaS vendor in that market. We have about 600 enterprise customers today, large enterprise customers, and over 100,000 seats. That's 100,000 business users. Obviously, this is very focused on the enterprise. Across many verticals and industries, and you can see down here, we just put a couple of names up, but some of them are very, very large. In fact, Honeywell has 15,000 users on our system today. We are 20 million plus in revenue and growing. Obviously, we've all been slowed down a bit by the current economic situation, unfortunately. It always comes at the wrong time. We are a recurring business model, subscription-based, and it's all SaaS revenue. So what do people use us for? Generally, if I were to categorize it, they're using us for managing lots of things going on inside of IT, engineering organizations, or other project-based operational organizations in their company. And what do they get out of it? Well, Forrester went and did a total economic impact report where they went out and looked at 4 of our customers randomly, sat down with them for a month, went through it, and found that the return on investment for using our product around these large projects and activities was less than 2 months, based on the fact that they didn't have to buy equipment, that they now could manage and see all of the activities going on in their organization and make quicker decisions, so on and so forth. And that's online if you'd like to see it. So where are we going? Well, one of the things that we have is a platform. We were one of the first SaaS vendors out there in 1997. A lot of vision around collaboration. And that platform has been enhanced dramatically over the last 3 years. So we have a whole dashboard of reporting and work intelligence. It's essentially Cognos built into our system, so we can report on anything in the system. We have this underlying engine of projects and management of that, roles, permissions, workflows around activities that people might have. We have standard native applications around tasks and document management and time tracking and scheduling. And then we have this thing called dynamic applications. And dynamic applications is really where we're running right now. And what that is the ability to build application logic on this platform with no programming whatsoever. And a lot of people don't accept that, don't believe it, but in reality, the company has solved that problem. We now have 2,000 applications that customers have written on our platform that they're running their businesses on, whether it's a help desk or whatever it may be, that they've built with no programming. We've done the same thing. We now are starting to enter new markets by building applications and selling them. One market that we're entering is something called the Agile Development Methodology market, or Scrum Agile, which is a methodology for developing software that's very popular now as opposed to waterfall mechanisms. And this is a nascent market, but there are players out there like Rally and ScrumWorks and others who are taking down revenue. In 4 hours, we built an application that has replaced ScrumWorks in 3 customers and Rally in 3 customers. And so we've taken the long pole in the tent in business application software development and shortened it. And now the long pole in the tent is essentially getting it to market and selling and marketing the product. So essentially what we're telling you or saying is that we can provide business analysts the ability to go out and build application logic on a platform and turn it over very, very quickly in a full-blown, full-fledged capability. It's not a small application. It can be a significant application. So that means that our company is entering another new market beyond just being able to build new applications and sell them in IT Help Desk or Scrum Agile or whatever the case may be. We're actually a platform as a service, which many of you have heard of. And this is a taxonomy of platform as a service that was out there by Phil Wainwright and some others. Forrester's put some out now of what that looks like in the market. There's a number of players out there. I'll just skip around here, but the issue is how hard is it to develop an application on that platform and how easy is it to deploy? If you look at Amazon, it's a lot easier to deploy. It's still just as difficult to develop. You still have to go get compilers and runtime environments and build your applications and test them and debug them and everything else. So it's really renting cycles, if you will. You look at cloud IDEs or integrated development environments like Salesforce or Bungie Labs. These give you the platform and they give you a development environment, but that development environment is not fully non-programming. You still have to be a Java programmer, JavaScript programmer, typically for ISVs, so independent software vendors. And then there's the third bundle, which is what we're in and we've been defined in, which is cloud application builders, where essentially we have an application or a tenant application, and you can build applications around that with no programming. And the NetSuite has something they call their business operating system that does a fairly similar thing. But we believe that that is the most important category because that's really where people are going to run in terms of trying to get new application functionality out quickly. And the backlogs in IT organizations and development organizations are notoriously large and a problem. So what's the difference? Leading on-demand platform. We're one of 3 in the world that are ISO 27001 security. We have PPM as an anchor. We have collaborative capabilities. We have all this work intelligence which you can manage on. We have this dynamic applications capability, and we have the ability to integrate with over 150 applications out there today. So we believe we have a clear play outside of PPM and into the platform as a service market with a base of 600 customers and 100,000 users to sell to. So I'll take questions.
So I'm kind of surprised that with the history that you have, 12-year-old company, and you only have a run rate of $20 million, and you have 600 enterprise customers, and the return on investment is less than 2 months. Don't you have some pricing flexibility? You could monetize this a little bit better than it seems like you are?
Yeah, I think you have to understand the history of the company. The company was founded in '97 with a free product and did not have a pay-for product until 2001. At that time, the company was in deep financial trouble for a number of years, and it was recapitalized in 2005.
Okay.
So we grew from less than $5 million in revenue to 20+ million in 3 years.
Okay.
That's kind of what you have to look at. We re-architected the whole platform.
Okay.
That's one of the other reasons we changed the name of the company.
Sure.
Is to get on with the new vision of what we are.
Okay. Does your platform give you some of the really interesting database tools that like Force.com does? Because that's one of the things that we always find with enterprise customers is that the back-end database is more important than anything else, and access to it is more important than anything else. So
yeah, we've taken a different approach than Force.com. Force.com is truly for very technical programmers and for ISVs. We've taken the approach of focusing on the business analyst. And so we have an underlying structure or data model built into the platform that then everything fits into. And that's a bit of the secret sauce of what we've done underneath the covers to hide all that from the business analysts.
Hey, Jeff, especially in this market environment, what are you experiencing in terms of new customer acquisition and how you're finding success going to market in new customer acquisition? And also on the retention and renewal side, what are some of the tactics you're deploying to not only to keep those 600 customers that you have?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I mean, it's a tough economic time, and no one is free in terms of their business growing astronomically. So, from a new business point of view, we clearly saw a slowdown starting at the end of the fourth quarter, and certainly in the first quarter. We've seen stabilization in the second quarter here. We're still growing, so we're still acquiring new business. In terms of the renewal rates, we've seen a dip in the first quarter in renewal rates, as many of our SaaS brethren have, including Salesforce.com and some of the large guys. And the reason for that is it's not so much customers leaving, it's people pruning seats. So, for instance, maybe they don't have as much budget or they've laid people off and they can't use all those seats. So when the renewal comes up, they renew for 75 seats versus 100 seats. That's still a version of churn. And that's kind of what we're seeing as well.
Congratulations on rebuilding after the project days. Were you here earlier? Did you see Liquid Planner?
No, I just came in this afternoon.
Are you aware of them?
Oh, yeah.
How do you position against those?
Liquid Planner is a lot lower end product than our PPM product. Our PPM product is meant for mid-size enterprises and higher that really deploy enterprise-wide and manage very large user counts. And it's a very different market. Our market is bifurcated into, well, a higher end, if you will, that we play in, and a much lower end where there are literally hundreds of players like Liquid Planner, like Basecamp, Intuit, and others where they have to-do lists and new strategies around spreadsheets and stuff like that. But that's a very different space than one we play in.
Yeah. Do you still see Primavera in your space?
Primavera, yeah, they're a little way high end, like building nuclear power plants, but definitely they're a little higher end than we are. Our main competition are people like CA, Clarity, and HP, and folks like that. Thank you.
Thanks.